Nate, you're on a bit of a roll these last two games. Just what's working for you out there, and why are you being able to be so productive?
I think it's just Coach Alvin put me in the right positions, and then my teammates finding me in the right positions. There's a lot of times we've been moving the ball pretty well the last couple games, and it's kind of ended in my hands a couple times, and good spots for me to score, and I'm just taking advantage of that.
Getting some threes to drop too. Just how much does that open things up for you and for the whole team?
Yeah, I think it opens up a lot of things. I kind of struggled a little bit there at the beginning. But hitting them, is going to make defenders step out, a lot more, open up driving room and gaps, for our guards to attack, like Jackson getting downhill, TK, and those guys. So, being able to knock down a couple threes a game, helps those guys do their role or do their job too.
About to be the new year, kind of a milepost, obviously on the calendar and everything. Just big picture, kind of where do you feel like things are at as you head into the new year and back into the conference play?
Yeah, I'm excited to get back into conference play. I think we got 11 quad one games, in conference play. So if we can go in, a good amount of those games, I think we'll like where we are, and we're just focused, one game at a time. This next road trip, going to Rutgers, Maryland, we're gonna be excited for that, and go over there and get after those teams.
You feel like you're ready for conference play?
Yeah, I think we are. I think Gonzaga helped us too. I think we played a good game against Gonzaga, except we let them score so many points. We need to work on our defense there a little bit. But I think it's really just our defense. We can score on offense, make plays for each other and stuff like that. But our defense has been a thing that's let us down a couple times this season, and that's one thing we're just going to focus on a lot, going over there and playing.
Even with the loss, being able to hang with a top 10 team for as long as you guys did in that game, did it give you some level of confidence, some level of being able to kind of understand where you guys are as a team?
Yeah, but then also we went back and on the film and watched our defense, and made a lot of defensive mistakes. Knowing personnel what certain guys did, scouting report mistakes. So that's one thing we're trying to lock in a lot more on is those little things that we can adjust. Or already know, going into the game of, scout report, what guys like to do and stuff like that.